Welcome back, Scouts, to another Attack on Titan Day 0 build-along. Today, we're going along with the Survey Corps' Erwin Smith, 13th Commander of the Survey Corps. The fact that he gets a tag like that tells me there's more than one Erwin Smith coming in the future sets. I think he now has the longest name plus title ever. He is a 723 with Death and Order as his symbols. He has 3 abilities, one of which is the static. After you sacrifice one or more foundations, or your attack deals damage, add a wall counter to this card. Enhance, sacrifice 1 foundation. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed. That could be useful. And then enhance, remove 3 wall counters, build the top card of your deck face down. Now, you'll see this with other characters that deal with wall counters. It does not say remove 3 wall counters from this card, so you're able to remove 3 wall counters from among cards in your stage. At least last I've heard, that's how this works, since it does not say specifically from this card. So he's one of the 3 characters, I want to say, that want you to just amass a whole ton of wall counters. So let's see what we can come up with this character, shall we? Let's see, he's attuned Death and Order, and this guy wants us to... Whoops, sorry, Annie. This guy wants us to sacrifice foundations, so that tells me death, but he also wants to deal with wall counters, so let's do a death core with an attuned order. Of course, anything in Attack on Titan is going to be attuned death or order, but let's do a death build with an attune with the wall counters off of the order stuff and see what we can do here. I think this could be fun. Let's make sure that we have our custom format, future standard. Let's set for attacks, and let's see what we got. So, acceptable losses, loses health. We can ruin 2 and flip 1 rival foundation. Quick question, after we sacrifice one or more foundations, because ruin, if we're forcing our rival to ruin, is forcing them to sacrifice face-down foundations. So I wanted to make sure that we couldn't just cheekily force them to do things. Mill 3, add a weapon, or up to 1 weapon and up to 1 weapon foundation milled this way. We'll see. We'll see. That could be cheeky. Fueled by tragedy, you may sacrifice a foundation. If you do, this attack's powerful rating gets +2. So this could become a 5, low 5, powerful 4. It does have our face on it, I think. Maybe? I don't know. No, it doesn't have our face on it. Our hair's different. This is other dude. Losing health. After we play this card, a rival spends a momentum. Our rival discards a card, sacrifices 1 foundation, and spends a momentum. After we block with this card, if we have 6 or fewer foundations, our rival discards a card, and we draw a card. Now, here's what's cool. If we're sacrificing enough for minus speed, we can absolutely do this. So let's try this. Let's try the Ravages of War. I do like Risky Encounter, because Blitz, if our rival has more foundations than us, this attack gets damage equal to the difference. But as a form, discard pile, we can sacrifice 3 foundations to try to play it from our discard pile as our next form, and it gets -2 difficulty, so it gets played as a 3 diff. And we can also, I don't know if I went over the other thing with Erwin Smith, that if you remove 3 wall counters, build the top card of your deck. So we can get more foundations, and we can sacrifice more foundations, because Erwin doesn't require us to sacrifice 1 foundation as an enhance, but for the static, sacrificing 1 or more foundations doesn't have to be during an enhance step. So if we sacrifice our foundations as a form, we can still get more counters. So I kind of dig this Ravages of War risky encounter thing here. Short work is good, because we sacrifice a foundation as our first form to add this card to our hand. And if our rival has more foundations than us, it gets more speed. So I'm kind of digging this. Not really needing the Titan emerges. I don't think we need the Beast Titan either. Spend momentum to force our rival to lose health. Spend up to 5 momentum. Our rival loses up to 1 health for each momentum spent. I don't think we're going to worry about that. I do like Backed Into a Corner, though, because we are focusing on sacrificing our foundations. Hi, Sammy. And if our rival has more than foundations than us, we get bonuses. Yes, hi, Sammy. Want to say hi? Nope? Okay. Blitz, add a backup. We're not dealing with backups. Commander's Rage. If you have 6 or more wall counters, this attack's powerful rating gets +2. Okay. You may remove a wall counter from this card, from a card in your stage as if you were spending momentum. Alright, well, we're dealing with wall counters, so let's take a look at it. Blitz, freezing, add up to 1 foundation from your stage to your hand. This attack is X difficulty, X equals its speed, X equals its difficulty. After you block, execute orders isn't great. Farewell to friends, we're using that somewhere else. Freeze a rival foundation, then if your rival has 2 or more frozen foundations, draw a card. Not up to that. Commit all foundations with a difficulty of 2. I don't think I'm going to worry about that either. Military offensive is just big. If we have 4 or more wall counters on cards in our stage, this attack gets 2 speed, 2 damage, so it becomes a 4 high 5. So that could be useful. Commit a foundation. Attack is X damage, X equals their committed foundations. We're not going to worry about that right here. Must attack a backup. Freeze a backup or foundation. Just stats and keywords, stats and keywords. Add 1 wall counter to a card in our stage. This attack is 1 damage for every 2 wall counters on cards in our stage. We like that. Wall Maria's Might, add a wall counter to a card in our stage, and then draw a card for every 2 wall counters on that card. I like that. So that's good as both an attack and the response to block is after we block with it, we get to draw a card. That's good. Weapons Within. After you play this card, shuffle up to 3 cards from your discard pile into your deck. Blitz, make a check of 6. If you pass, this attack is 3 damage. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Do we want to play... I don't think we want to play any of the Shift Titan attacks, do we? Because they're not forcing us to sacrifice. They're not allowing us to get more wall counters. Yeah, so I don't think we're worried about that. Face down attacks. Attacks get more damage. Alright, on to the attack on Titan attacks. And we must remember that destroy 1 foundation, that is sacrificing. Sacrificing is destroying a foundation, but we get to choose which of our foundations is destroyed. So cards like Tri-Gravity Beam could absolutely work. Sacrificing a foundation, and if we have 2 or other attacks in our card pool, we get to look at our rival's hand. But we're not doing a lot of removing, so I think I'm going to not worry about that. Are we sacrificing anything here? Spend a momentum? No. Destroy an asset? No. If this attacks, block, draw a card. Spending, freezing, forcing rival destruction. Here's a good one, Deteriorating Palm. Sacrifice a face-down foundation, build the top card of our deck face down. You know what? Just before I go too ham on this, let me just double check. Sacrifice. An effect that they must choose and destroy a card in their stage that matches the instruction. Historically, learning curve, new players confronted with effects do similarly. And this is a case of if you know, you know. Often a player, yada, 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 yada. You cannot sacrifice your own... Okay, so yeah, anything that would destroy one of your own foundations, usually as a cost, means is what sacrifice is. So, Deterioration Palm, we sacrifice a committed foundation to build one in face up. That could be fun. Cards left our card pool, no. Sacrifice of ready foundation, double this attack's damage. I don't think we're going to work on the two checks here. I think we've got enough 2 checks. Oh, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Death, 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 death. Death, 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 lunch. Death, 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 afternoon tea. Death, death, quick shower. 10 points if you understand that reference. Without Google. If you can comment below if you got that reference without Google. And you're my new favorite if you did. Sacrifice a face down foundation. This attack gets 4 damage. So that's cool because we can give up wall counters to build face down foundations sacrifice them to get more wall counters to also get damage. That's actually a really neat ability there. I kind of dig that. We're kind of moving away from the weapons theme, but I don't think we were really going for a weapons theme. Maybe I'm all wrong, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm all wrong. After this attack deals damage, your rival ruins 2. No, because it's very, very slow. And we need to guarantee that something like that's going to hit. I know I put Vile Seizing, I believe, in Armin early on, but I'm trying to stay away on these Day Zeros, especially for like newer Day Zeros and stuff. I'm trying to stay away from big money cards. Obviously, there are going to be secret rares in the set, but I feel like using all the cards in the set is kind of what you want to do. But I'm going to try to keep away, especially on Day Zero builds, from a lot of the bigger money cards, just to make it more about the character and not about how to absolutely dominate with this deck. So what have we got here? We've got 10 attacks. So let's see what we can do here. Short work, we should only really need 1 of, maybe 2. I kind of like it as the 1 of. Ravages of War could be a cool 2 of. Risky Encounter could be a neat 2 of, because we can just recur it. So we don't need to, even if we check it, we can always recur it back. Short work at a 1. Let's see. Let's do that as a 2 of. That is a 4 of, because it's a cheap card. That is a 3 of, because we want wall counters. Wall Maria's Might's a 3 of, we want wall counters. Deterioration Palm is a 3, and that is a 3. So what does that put us at, like 30? 25, I was close. Let's actually cut the Commander's Rage, because it is cool that we can use wall counters for our powerful, but not entirely necessary. Now, stun 1. I'm not seeing any real way to use momentum on our attacks, so we are free to use momentum on our foundations and such defensively. Let's also cut the backed into a corners, just because we won't be worried too much about freezing. So let's check out assets. What are we? We're a Survey Corps. 2 speed, 2 damage. Actually, let's do vertical maneuvering equipment, at least as a 1 of, because this will be a good way to spend our momentum defensively, because with our sacrifice and spending a momentum is -5 speed and changing the zone to a zone we can block easily. That's pretty solid. Knott's Flask can give us more damage options. Maybe. Suited Up can give speed if it's committed. Damage if it's not. I kind of dig Grenadier Bracers, because we can sacrifice for 2 speed and then give 1 damage. So sacrificing for 2/1, there's another character that does that. Could be pretty cool, and then we can commit on our last attack to just absolutely dunk on people. Yeah, let's do 2 Grenadier Bracers and 1 of the vertical maneuvering equipments. Let's see if there's any actions we want to do. Chump, no. Raise walls, we do want raise walls, because we want wall counters. Combined firepower, if we had any way to remove cards, I would say absolutely. Decay Awakened is going to be a really good sideboard on all 3 of these symbols, especially for these transforming people that need 9 foundations. Decayed Awakened is a really good way to keep people like that under control. Genkai's Guidance can sacrifice 3 foundations to yeet an attack. That's not bad. That's pretty good defense. Go for the win. I like this, because if we have less foundations than our rival, we can sacrifice a foundation and build 2 foundations off the top of our deck. Or as a response, we can give an attack 2 speed when our rival passes on their enhance. So that's pretty neat. So there's that. So we're at 29 cards. Now let's see if we can dump a metric buttload of foundations into this deck. We're not worried about backups. I think we only have the one card with the 8 or greater. So we're not worried about Display of Might. Disrupting Plans. If we have sacrificed a card, get +1 damage. So this is basically just our another version of Grenadier Bracers. So that's pretty cool. Our weapon attack gets 1 speed, 1 damage, and stun 1. 1 weapon, 2 weapon, 3 weapon, 3 weapon. We're not worried about that. Beard Titan. I absolutely adore this card. Tenacious, sacrifice, -3 speed. That's really good. Sacrifice, destroy a rival foundation. Our turn ends. So we play this ability at the end of our turn, when we're not wanting to play anything else. This would net us another wall counter. Let's put it in as a cheeky one-of. Nets us a wall counter and gets rid of a key piece on our rival's turn. After this card enters our discard pile during the enhanced step, this attack is +2 or -2 damage. That's good for sacrificing them. And it doesn't say after it's destroyed, it says after it's entered our discard pile, so if we sacrifice it as a face-down foundation, it still triggers. So that's really good. After you sacrifice one of our foundations, attack is -1 speed. If we sacrifice for... we're going to have a lot of speed hate. I do like this because we can sacrifice and spend a momentum to draw a card. So that's going to be really useful as a use for our momentum. Unblocked attacks. Spend momentum to burn. Sacrifice 2 foundations for -3 damage. No. Remove after we are dealt damage from an unblocked attack. Commit a rival foundation. We're a 7-hander. We don't want to take unblocked attacks. We want to block everything. Remove after it enters our discard pile during the enhanced step. Our rival commits a face-up foundation. Not bad, but I don't know if we want to run it as the 3 diff. If we have 5 or more wall counters on our character, look at our rival's hand. You know what? I like peeking at hands. After we play this card, add a wall counter to our stage. That's good. Fortify walls is great. At the end of our turn, put a wall counter on it. We can move all wall counters from it to another card, and we can remove all wall counters from it to give -speed for each counter removed. And this is not unique. This is a very, very strong card. Lucky Break, not going to worry about that. Commit your attack at stun 1 and 1 damage. I'm not going to worry about that either right now. After an attack is played, its damage cannot be modified. Rival spends a momentum. Flip for -2 damage. Return a card to printed speed. Sacrifice, commit a rival foundation. After you sacrifice one or more foundations, draw a card. We like this. We like this card a lot. Urtgard Castle, no. No, alright, what else can we do here? Remove. Wasn't there one that, yeah, destroy for speed? Nah, because we're already sacrificing for 2 speed. We don't need to sacrifice for 1 speed. We're not dealing ranged and slam attacks. We're not burning our rival. Says our next attack. Form, flip, commit. If you have destroyed a foundation this turn, your rival destroys 1 foundation. That could be a fun one-of. Maybe, actually, let's do it as a 2-of. Because this can help keep those pesky shift characters a little bit more under our thumb. Forcing our rival to spend momentum when we sacrifice this is good. Fighting for control is always fun. Mainly because everyone I play with it hates it. What else have we got here? After this foundation is destroyed, build the top card of your deck face down. Sacrifice it face down for -2 damage. Here's fun. Immortal Shapeshifter. After one or more of our foundations is destroyed, check 5 to gain a health. We are a 7-hander. That would be useful. Unsettling Auras, very good defense. For the -3 speed. After foundations destroyed, your next attack is -1. Commit for... Actually, we have enough speed hate. I don't know if we need the Unsettling Aura. But Energy Manipulation would be fun. Commit for +3 damage, and then sacrifice it for 2 speed. We just used one card very similar to the Rodan card for 2 speed, 3 damage. And our next attack gets -1 difficulty. So that's really, really cool. I like that. Keiko's Aids, good defense. Finally Awake. What are our zones? High, 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 mid, high, high, low, mid, high. So we could use Finally Awake to commit for 1/1, and then sacrifice for another +2. Maybe use a 2 of. Syndicate target's just very strong. What else can we do here? That's remove. If it was destroy, maybe, but it's not. Always Cool is very strong defense. Oh, what else can we do here, guys? Commit for -2 speed or +2 damage. After this card is destroyed, draw a card. That's good, because it gives us draw and sacrifice bonus. I think that's going to be it. As I just rifle through the last of these. Yeah, I think that's going to be... well, grab these. Yeah, so let's see what the damage is. The damage is a lot. 76 cards. Mostly high and mid blocks. So let's take a look at our high and mid blocks here. By Bearded Titan, fighting for control. Let's get rid of the fighting for controls, because it's fine. Not necessary. Whoops. I forgot the resetting does that. Probably cut this to a 2 of. I like the Bearded Titan. Eaten by Bearded Titan, though. Faith in Walls. Learning to Harden, we can probably cut to a 2. Disrupting Plans is just free damage on all of our stuff. I like the Final Words, because we're just going to stock up wall counters like it's nobody's business. Probably do the 2 Fortifying Walls. Puts us at 71. So then if we... cut Faith in Walls to 2. There we go. 70 card Erwin. Not bad. Yeah, I kind of dig this as kind of a first build for Erwin Smith. Our main thing is just sacrificing and reusing our wall counters to just build a whole bunch of cards, sacrifice for a huge boost in our speed control. And then using our momentum defensively with cards like Vertical Maneuvering Equipment, and there was another card that spent our momentum defensively. We could draw cards. So, yeah. And again, momentum is not a necessity. If you didn't have these cards out that use them, you wouldn't have to take momentum. So, you can always just let the cards go to the discard pile and just keep going. But with that, that's going to be the end of our Day 0 for Erwin Smith. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, and if you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'll be having Day 0 builds for every Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity character, as I've done for the past 2 sets previously. I've done Day 0 builds. I've got a bunch of fun other deck design content on here, and if you are new to the game, first of all, welcome. Thank you for making it to the end of this video and my rambling. I will have a link to my Hermit School of Universus down in the description, where you can learn all the rules and mechanics of this game in small, easy-to-digest videos. And if you want to help support the channel even more, please consider following me on Patreon. And until next time, take care, guys.